Yeah.
My bando make me rich, my bando rocks on 36, my bando want me that. My bando want me this, my bando has to jumping jacks. So my niggas just relax. Got some bro that take it free, don't put this bando on the map. My bando make me rich, my bando rocks on 36. My bando make me rich, my bando rocks on 36. My bando make me rich, my bando rocks on 36. My bando want me that, my bando want me that. 247, we ain't close no hoes and hit this open. Hit a pop no pills, don't drink no weed, but you can smoke some.
What up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Man, this is this hard. This episode a little hard, man, because I got kids. You know, I mean, I got one kid. I got a daughter. She's 10 years old, but she got a little sister that's 6. Then she got older siblings. Then I got nieces and nephews and whatnot. So I got kids. You understand what I'm saying? Not to mention the ones who I look at in the neighborhood as being under my protective eye and who I'll look out for if they need something, right? These are my kids as well. I think my bro, Marcellus Cornwell, said it best in his interview. Like, man, that's why he hold his kids so close, because he didn't have that structured upbringing to be able to be close with his kids, man. So, January the 24th, 2019. You got a family, right? A regular, everyday family. They traveling with kids aboard on their way to a nice event out at the Fox Theater. Just so happened this particular night, Sesame Street Live was performing, right? And so they got a exuberant and happy 3-year-old in the backseat bouncing around. He can't wait to get there. He can't wait. And I can imagine, because when I was little, I used to want to meet Snuffleupagus. Big Bird was cool. And Oscar the Grouch was cool. But Snuffleupagus, that was my dude. Snuffy, that was my guy. So I can't imagine being 3 years old in the backseat bouncing around on my way to this event, about to go see people I see on TV. My favorite show, live on stage. And I've been getting gassed up by Mom's Duke or my family members or sis or whoever else. They've been saying, when we go see Sesame Street Live, this gonna blow your mind. I'm 3 years old. So I'm like, whoa, for real? I can't wait to get there, right? This was probably more than likely what was going on in little CJ's mind. You know what I mean? CJ Miller was 3 years old. And allegedly, his godmother, who he was traveling with at the time, cut this dude off, right? Cut this dude off, and he took it upon himself, because, you know, that's what dudes who got weak ass hearts, weak ass minds, weak ass spirits do. You know, PU double to the curved letter Y's, you know what I'm saying? Or the crooked letters. PU crooked letter Y, you know? This is what a PU crooked letter Y would do, right? This dude, Derek Durham, I want to say he was 24 at the time, I believe. Let me check real quick. I think he was something like that. He was like 20-something years old, right? It's 3 years ago. He can't handle his emotions. Let's say allegedly he might even been off drugs or this feminized marijuana that don't produce seeds that everybody think is cool to smoke, and is making these dudes real emotional and real weak, you know? Like they just pumped full of estrogen all of a sudden. And you talk about role reversal, man. Role reversal is so real, because women are so masculine nowadays in a lot of senses. And I understand it. I'm not judging. I understand the protective measure that women has to put up as far as emotional, societal, spiritual, mental walls and financial walls up against the world that's constantly feel like they're being under attack. So I understand the role that women take on when it comes to being more masculine. But when men become more feminine, become more emotional, become more driven to rage, become more driven to violent outbursts, can't control their emotions or their physical actions because they so damn distraught and they so upset, This is when the societal shift starts to happen, and the dynamic of man versus woman starts to change, and role reversal flips, and now you got women who telling these boys to sit down. Sit your little bum ass down. You can't do nothing for me, bro. Sit your little weak self in the corner. You can't do nothing for me, little dog. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I would call Derek Durham, a little dog, a little lame. You know what I'm saying? You's a sap, bro. You can't control your emotions. Allegedly, this woman cut you off. She's riding with her 3-year-old godson. You fire at the vehicle, and you kill this little boy. C.J. Miller lost his life on January the 24th, 2019, 6 days after my birthday.
Just a short time ago in the shooting death of a 3-year-old boy on the Southfield Freeway.
Let's get out to Jermont Terry, who's live at the Detroit Detention Center on Mound Road. That's where the suspect's being held, and we had an arraignment behind closed doors.
Yes, Devin, our cameras were not allowed inside for this arraignment, but we just moments ago got our hands on a mugshot of the man police arrested and the man that prosecutors charged. This is the man that police say is responsible for taking this kid's life. Tonight, he remains locked up here at the detention center, facing some very serious charges. Here's our first look at the man arrested in this case. Derek Durham faces 6 different charges, including open murder and discharging from a vehicle causing death. Durham is 24 years old.
Stay strong.
This week, he walked into the Detroit Police headquarters and surrendered with community members by his side. His decision to turn himself in came only after he was on the run for nearly a week, and just hours after investigators found the Mercedes-Benz they say he fired that gunshot from while on the Southfield Freeway. The bullet from Durham's gun, according to police, pierced the SUV little C.J. Miller was in. The 3-year-old was shot while in the back seat of his godmother's car. It's believed Durham fired the shots because he did not like the way the woman was driving on the freeway. The godmother told police she does not know Durham and insists there was someone else in the car with him that night. As of tonight, there's been no word of anyone else arrested in this case. Durham will make his first court appearance officially next week. Reporting live, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
I was having a drunk bowling party at Renaissance Bowling Alley on Woodward at the time. And this young man was losing his life, fighting for his life, because he's been fired on, shot at, and killed by a man, or I can't even call him a man, by a dude who is a victim in himself, but he has to take full responsibility for his actions, because so many dudes at that age, and I say this all the time, right? After the late 80s, early 90s, so many mothers took and held their sons so close to them because they were scared of what was going on in the streets with all this dope money, and the backlash of that happened in late 80s, early 90s, right? All these movies that came out depicting real life, so they was necessary. But you got to think that was an accurate portrayal. Some dudes who never saw that firsthand saw them through the movies, heard it through that music that was coming out, right? Or the music that they decided to listen to, right? And mothers got scared. They held their sons close to the heart, close to the chest, and they kept them on their titty too damn long. A lot of these dudes is soft. A lot of these dudes is women on the inside, emotionally, rather. I ain't gonna call them, but emotionally, a lot of y'all are women, man. Y'all respond like women, y'all act like women, y'all talk like women, y'all gossip like women, y'all behave like women. And ain't nothing wrong with how women behave when it's a woman behaving like that. That's their nature, to sometimes overdo it, over-exaggerate, be a little catty, be a little messy, be a little gossipy, right? To respond emotionally, to use emotions to drive their thoughts and their feelings rather than logic and common sense sometimes, right? I don't hold no type of, March 10th is when this story popped off. And like I was telling you with the recent story, around that time I was preparing for my daughter's birthday, so a lot of stories I was catching. I'm like, damn, I want to do it. There was a lot of stories coming out around that time. I don't know if it's because it was still cold and dudes losing their mind because of the cold, but people were losing their mind around that time. And this dude, Derek Durham, got sentenced to 70 to 100 years.
A man is sentenced in connection to a road rage shooting that killed 3-year-old CJ Miller, who was strapped in a car seat in his godmother's car. That story tops our news here at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. 3-year-old CJ Miller was strapped in a car seat in that car when he was shot and killed. Prosecutors say that the deadly shooting stemmed from road rage. Well, today that shooter was sentenced. Local 4's Priya Mann joins us now live this afternoon. And Priya, what did the judge hand down?
Evrod, this just happened moments ago. Derek Durham was sentenced to 70 to 100 years in prison, convicted of second-degree murder. The toddler's mother wept as the judge handed down that sentence. Take a look. Christian Miller's was 3 years old. He was in the car seat in the back of his grandmother's SUV when he was shot and killed. The freeway shooting happened in January 2019. The family was on their way to see Sesame Street live at the Fox Theater when Christian was killed. Michigan State Police say Derek Durham fired at the vehicle on Southfield Freeway after the victim's godmother allegedly cut him off. When the woman heard glass shattering, prosecutors say she got off the freeway, pulled into a gas station, and called 911. Christian was rushed to Children's Hospital and died the next morning. Take a listen to what the judge and the victim's mom had to say.
God didn't take him away from me. You did. You took him away from me. So now I have to move on like ain't nothing happened? It's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to his sister and brother, and it's not fair to his family.
This is an egregious case. No one driving on the freeway, whether you cut someone off or not, should have a shot fired at their car. And his life was taken from him that day, and from his mother, and from his family.
And this was actually the third time this case was tried here at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. The first time it ended in a hung jury. The second time there was jury misconduct. Now Derek Durham was convicted of second-degree murder. His mother did start her victim impact statement by showing videos of her son. He was playing, crawling around, watching a small screen. She said he loved Sesame Street and that her life will never be the same. We will have much more from the sentencing tonight at 5 o'clock. In downtown Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
The senseless killing of little 3-year-old CJ Miller. You know, rest in peace to that little baby. My condolences to his family. And anybody who's been affected by that young brother's murder, because it affected me. And I don't even know him or his family, but it's just like I got kids, man. Like I say, I got young people I'm responsible for. I make myself responsible for. So I pray that God has his way with Derek Durham. I pray that he's spiritually and emotionally punished and whipped and spanked and has to go through a purgatory of senses to be cleansed of the ills. Man, you a weak and sick individual to blast on a car full of people and you don't even know who in there. And if you do know who in there, you even more of a PU, crooked letter Y. You understand what I'm saying? This was a baby. And this ain't an isolated incident. I've seen quite a few incidents where kids were in the car, people fired upon them, and you know they became victims of somebody who's supposed to be an adult with adult way of thinking, an adult way of handling emotions and conflict resolution and de-escalation, lose their mind and just shoot at a car, man. You have a reckless and callous sense of moving, and you have a disregard for life that's just weird and crazy and sick, and you deserve to be where you at, bro. I usually don't say this. I'm usually on the side of the dudes who locked up, but it's usually because they're locked up falsely or because there's some injustice going on. But man, I pray that you rot, man. Because 70 at a minimum, especially with truth and sentencing and no more good time, you're gonna be a humbug before you get up out of there, bro. You know, and I pray it whoops on you. And I thank all of y'all for tuning in again. OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. If y'all don't, it's all good because this episode wasn't really for that. But, yeah. I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a great weekend. Protect y'all children. Protect y'all energy, man. Women, I'm telling y'all. And I tell my mother and my sister and them this all the time. Leave the road rage at home. Get y'all emotions under control when y'all out in traffic and bam, 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 motherfucker, and bam, bam, and all this, because people ain't stable. Some dudes not stable. Some people not stable, and they will do like Derek Durham did and shoot at your car, and you might not be the only one in there. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when you're not riding solo. Even if you are, protect your energy. Calm down. Just pull over to the side of the road for a minute. Take a woo sign, 10, 20 deep breaths, and just chill out for a minute. You understand what I'm saying? I love my people, man. I love my people. I used to be a insane type of person. I love my people now, though, and I want to see y'all safe, man. I love y'all. I'm see y'all next time. I retired from the streets TV. OG Kenny, I'm out.
Ha.